Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be showing you how I achieved this soft glam look. I know the glam is interpreted by the person wearing the makeup. This could be someone's full glam, but for me this is soft glam. Thank you for coming back. Please stay a while. Remember to comment, rate, and subscribe. Thank you so much for tuning in and I appreciate your support. Okay, now that I have you up close and personal, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna start by priming my face. So I'm first gonna prime my under eyes actually with this Becca Anti-Fatigue Under Eye Primer. It is a balm, so you're just gonna pat it on with your finger. That's how I use it, and it's actually pretty nice. It smells kind of like a really nice, clean smell. Nothing really. And I'm just kind of using my finger with clean hands, mind you, and just patting it on my under eye. And I'm not tugging, I'm just patting. Now I'm gonna go in with these Wander Beauty Glow Ahead Illuminating Face Oil Drops. I'm gonna go ahead with these and give it a good shake. Now that my face is primed, I'm gonna move on to my brows. I'm going to be using, nothing new here, I'm gonna go ahead and use the Anastasia Dip Brow and carve my brows out. Then I'm gonna use my NYX concealer jar in light to carve them out if I need it. Sorry, I'm looking at myself and not really at the camera. All right, so here we go. And I'm using the color dark brown per usual. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and do this other brow and I'll be right back. Okay, now that I have both of my brows filled in with the Anastasia Dip Brow, I'm gonna go ahead and carve them out a bit. Again, using that NYX Potted Concealer and just going in with the Alamar Cosmetics brush. So now that I have both of my brows drawn out, I'm going to go ahead and use a blending brush, just a fluffy brush from Amazon. Now I'm going to go in with the brow gel. I'm going to use the ColourPop Brow Boss Gel. This is in a clear color. And just give a little light coat so that we don't have any movement. All right. Now we're going to move on to the eyes. So this is going to be a soft glam look. So it's not going to be super harsh, but it's definitely going to be nice, warm, neutral, maybe a little glitter. We'll see how we're feeling. First, I'm going to prime the eyes with the NYX Proof It Waterproof Eyeshadow Primer. I like this one because it has a little doe foot applicator. Very easy to apply and works really well. So now I'm gonna start building my crease. The two eyeshadow palettes that I'm going to be using today is the Dose of Colors Desi and Katie Friendcation palette, as well as the Urban Decay Naked Ultimate Basics palette. And this is how it looks. So we're gonna stay in a very neutral family, but also be beautiful and glam. And I'm gonna go ahead and go into the Urban Decay palette and take the color Faith here. Ignore my nails. I did them so good in my past video. If you'd like to see the nail tutorial, I'll link that below. But I did them so well that I can't get them to come off, so I had to just trim them down because one of them broke. So ignore my nails. We'll move past that. But I'm going to go ahead and take the color Faith here and start to put that in my transition area, in my crease. And I'm leaving my lid space open. I'm not putting this on my lid. We're just building up that transition area. So right in your crease, so it's gonna be nice and warm. And then as we add some more deeper tones, it's really gonna help that gradient effect happen. So going back in with more of that same color Faith from the Urban Decay palette. Again, I'm still just building up that same color Faith. We haven't picked anything else up yet. And stay with the Urban Decay palette and do the color right next to it. And this is called Lockout. We're gonna go in with Lockout here. And I'm gonna keep it more so on the corners of my eyes. So I'm not gonna be bringing it into the inner corner at all. It's really just gonna live on the outer part here. And you're gonna see me just doing circular motions in that area because we just wanna build that up a bit, just to kind of bring our eyes out a little bit, maybe a cat eye effect. All right, so now that we've built up the outer corners and have a light transition in the crease area, I'm actually gonna go back with that Fion brush that we used previously and pick up a little more Faith. So that very first color from the Urban Decay palette. And we're gonna go ahead and go back in that crease and then try and, well, not try, girl, you better blend out the deeper color, and we're just gonna make sure that there's a nice gradient. This outer corner is gonna remain darker because you're not adding any additional color to the inner part of your eye, so this is gonna allow it to be more open. If you drag the deeper color inward, you're gonna have a very narrowed eye. So if you're going for that look, then please do that. If not, just take a little bit more of that same transition color and just make sure that everything is smooth and transitioning well. Because you don't want just a very pretty gradient effect and then a black spot back here. Even though that's not black, the more you build it up, it's going to be darker and darker and it's going to look muddy. So let's make sure we blend, ladies and gents. All right, so now that we have a very nice blended canvas, we're gonna move down to our lid because we did, for the most part, leave that pretty blank. I'm gonna go ahead and take a fluffy brush because it looks like my inner corners aren't really blended. Sometimes it's okay, it's always okay to go in with a clean brush if you feel like maybe your blend is not going how you want it to and you don't want to use a brush with more product because that can just make it muddier or darker in areas where you're not looking to have that effect. So I'm taking just a clean fluffy brush sometimes and just going around the perimeter, making sure that inner corner is really blended. Can be a lifesaver. All right, so now we're gonna revisit the eyelid, and this is where I wanna go ahead and go in with the Friendcation palette. I don't know why I keep forgetting the name of this palette. I'm gonna go in with this color here, and this is just a Kiss, and I'm going to put it on the lid, the inner part of the lid, not the entire lid. And go ahead and swirl around. We're going to go back in with that first color, Faith, from the Urban Decay palette, and very lightly kind of blend this together. We want them to not be disconnected, but cohesive. All right, so we're gonna continue on the eyes. I'm going to put a very light layer of mascara because I am gonna put some falsies on. This is the Tarte Big Ego mascara. I love the packaging, it's so cute. I love pink, so. And the wand is a really nice football fluffy wand, which I love. I'm gonna put a really light layer on, and then we're gonna put the lashes on. All right, now I have a really light layer of this mascara on. I'm actually gonna go in with some seed oil on my lips. This is NYX Bear With Me Cannabis Sativa oil, and just put some on my lips because they're feeling a little bit dry. This stuff, magic. Okay, so today we're going to be using the Kiss Blowout Lash in Pixie, and I really like these. This is kind of the effect that they have. I like that they're kind of open but still full, so you're going to be able to see that glitter still, without them being too overpowering, but they're still fluffy because I really like full lashes. I want it to be worth it if I'm gonna put some lashes on. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually use the Kiss lash glue with the Kiss lashes. All right, so my lash glue has been drying for, I wanna say, 40 seconds or so. I have my mirror here so that I can see down so I can put my lashes on. If you'd like an in-depth how to lash do's and don'ts tutorial, let me know. It took me a while to really get good at putting on lashes, and I still struggle sometimes. Lashes can just be finicky, but all right, I'm gonna go ahead and put these on. All right, both sets of lashes are on. Now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the face, and we'll finish the eyes off once we're done. Remember, we already primed our face in the beginning, so it's good to go. The primer's been sinking in, it's ready to act. So I'm gonna go in with the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie foundation. This is my favorite foundation. I even have a backup of it, okay? So there is a pump function, and then there also is a doe foot function, because it can also act as a concealer. I'm going to go in with a foundation brush. I'm actually going to use one from Amazon. When I say Amazon brush, it all came from the same set. So this is a full coverage foundation. I'm not a light coverage or sheer coverage type of girl. So if that's what you're looking for, you're not going to find it here, sis. I'm sorry. But I hope you stay and hang out. Look at that. Ooh. Be careful around your brows. You work so hard on them. So now we're gonna go in with some concealer. I'm actually gonna use the Tarte Shape Tape in the color Fair Neutral and just brighten up my under eye. As you can see, I didn't bring foundation up on my under eye or really around my nose because I use concealer, so I don't really need to do that. I like a really bright under eye. I'm gonna take some down the bridge of my nose and just a teens there in the center. I'm actually going to use a brush to buff this out, and it's going to be the Morphe M536. And you can see my nose instantly brighter, and it adds a little bit of coverage. Ooh, and that is slayed, honey. Okay. All right, now that we have our concealer on, we're gonna go ahead and set. I'm actually gonna set my entire face with this. More so heavily concentrated under the eye. I'm gonna use a powder puff, and this is actually a brand new one. So I'm just gonna kind of dip it in the powder. I'm gonna use the CAT Luxe Pro Powder in the color Porcelain, and it comes in this little package here. It can get a little messy, kind of reminds me of the Ben Nye powder. I've never used it, but obviously it's a cult favorite, so I've seen it in action plenty of times on YouTube. I'm gonna just pour a little bit in the cap here. Okay, so I heavily set my under eyes around my nose and my smile lines, because those are the spots that I tend to kind of crease throughout the day from laughing, talking, etc. And then I just don't want my under eyes to crease at all. So now I'm gonna go in with a powder brush. This is an Eco's Tools round powder brush, and I'm just going to then lightly dust some on the rest of my face. I don't need it to be baked or anything like that. I'm just gonna lightly set the rest. So now I'm gonna go in and just kick off all the powder that I put on. I don't wanna bake for too long. Okay, so now we're at a good spot. We're gonna start building up our contour on our face. I'm going to be bronzing and contouring with the same product. This is going to be NARS bronzer in Seaside. I love this bronzer. It's perfect for me. It's a light medium color. I really love it. Builds up beautifully. It's NARS. I mean, what can you do? I accidentally poked my nail in it. I remember I did that the day I got it. Okay. All right, so as you can see, I did the 3 method just because I like my neck to look a little more snatched. I only do this when I'm wanting to look more glam. On an everyday basis, I don't do the 3 method, I just do a C method. So just bronzing this outer part of my face. So now I'm gonna go in with the Morphe M462 and just kind of buff that out so there's not any harsh lines on my face. Now I'm going to go in with some blush. I'm going to use the Ciate London blush in Halo. This is from their Marbled Light collection. I really like this blush. I'm going to go in with a angled Wet n Wild brush, I believe, and just kind of tap this in here. It's more of a wine berry blush, and I really like that. All right, cool. Now I'm going to go back with that powder brush from earlier and just make sure that where the blush and the contour meet, no harsh lines. I'm also going to go ahead and cut my face. That sounded crazy, huh? Okay, I'm going to go in with that same powder and just get a good little hefty amount on here. And do a nice cutting. Sounds so funny. I always bring it across my chin. That's just what I do. All right, so now we're done with that powder. And as this is really cleaning up the face, we're gonna go ahead and move on to some highlighting. I'm gonna use the Ofra highlighter in the color Blissful. And I'm going to use a Morphe M5110. All right, so now we're actually gonna finish off the eyes. So I'm gonna go back in that Urban Decay Naked palette and I'm gonna grab a flat kind of shader brush. Let's see. Ooh. I'm gonna go ahead and take a flat shader brush, a smudger brush from Moda Pro brushes, and I'm gonna go ahead and take that first color, Faith, and just smudge it on the lash line. All right, and then we're gonna take some of that lockout color too. Okay, so now that we have our lash line smudged out, we're gonna go ahead and highlight our inner corner. So I'm gonna use that same highlighter we just used from Ofra and just pop some on the inner corner and on the brow bone. Okay, very nice. All right, so now let's dust off this bake. All right, and as you can see, it just brings like a very angular effect that I just love. Now we're gonna go ahead and set our face with the, set our face with the Morphe Jeffree Star collection. This is actually the strawberry scent. I love Morphe setting sprays. They're everything to me. Perfect. Okay, So now finally we're going to move on to the lip. Now I'm going to be using the Alyssa Ashley lip gloss with Elfie in Nude Rose. I love this lip gloss. I actually forgot about it, and as I was pulling things out to film this video, I was like, oh, I love that lip gloss. I need to bring that back. So okay, so here's the finished look. We have some really beautiful lashes on, full, but yet still flirty enough to see what you got going on behind those lashes. Beautiful highlighter and a really bold brow. And this is my soft glam. All right, friends, so this is the finished look. I hope that you enjoyed it. Thanks for spending time with me. I hope that you did your makeup with me or just watched to see how I achieved this look so you can recreate it for yourself. Thank you so much for sticking around, and until next time, have a great one.